Great. Well, I am Kelsay Elizabeth Myers, and I'm a transformative coach and an integrative somatic-based expressive arts practitioner. I am located in Larkspur, California, in Marin County in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I work, I do a lot of personal empowerment and coaching programs individually and in small groups online at my business, Dialogical Persona Healing Arts. So you can find that at www.dialogicalpersona.com. And today I'll be talking about shapes of fierce abundance. And I apologize if you hear my cat meowing in the background. She wants me to get her water from the faucet. So, but yeah, I will be talking about how often we approach abundance through the mental and the spiritual realms, as Dr. Amba has mentioned. We think about it as a mental concept. How do we go about getting abundance? How might we define that? And all of these are important because they help us get clear on what abundance means to us. And we can think about it in terms of like the energetic field or how we go about it through retreats like this. And often we forget that it's also physical, that it's held in our body, that we can express it through physical shapes or movement gestures. And I find that that is sometimes a missing piece for people because the mental is wonderful, but it only takes us so far. And the spiritual and the energetic is also um, can take us farther. And by being more holistic and looking at it through all of the different things, our heart, our head, our body, we can actually really embody the totality of what abundance is for each individual. And I have had my own personal journey with abundance and how to manifest as there are different aspects of my personality that are much more about receiving and working one-on-one with people rather than necessarily being this manifester out in the world. And so it's how do I create abundance working with who I am and all of the different aspects of myself, and how can I embrace and embody that for myself? So that's what inspired me to do this interactive talk on how we come to those shapes and those expressions for ourselves, because we are all different and we are all individuals and we have different stories, different parts of our personalities, different beliefs and values around abundance. So how do we make abundance work for us and for our own personal systems? So um, one way that you can come to that is to just I invite you to really close your eyes if you're comfortable. And when I say the word abundance, just notice where that lands in your system, if it's on the inside or the outside. And is there anything else about abundance for you? And that abundance is like what? Does it have a shape or a size or a color? And when abundance is like that, is there anything else about it? Does it have a texture? Hmm. And once you have that abundance for you, is there a physical expression or a gesture that expresses what that's like. And with your eyes still closed, if you feel comfortable doing that gesture, I invite you to do that. Mm. Yeah, and keep repeating that gesture as much as you feel comfortable. And as you're repeating it, play with the speed. Either slow it down or speed it up and see what that's like in your body. And as you're playing with the speed, really notice the difference between slow or faster until you find that pace that's just right for your abundance. And when you find the right pace, then see if there's anything else that wants to be added. Does it want to get bigger or smaller in movement? Does it want more space? Like, is there a spot in your room that is calling to you to do this? Yeah, and if so, I encourage you to go there. And again, just feel the shape of this abundance moving within you. And then, is there another shape or expression that comes to you as you're moving with this one? I invite you to add that in as you're moving. And when it feels natural, just letting these expressions come to a natural pause or stillness. Mhm. Yeah, and just notice what it's like now, having moved with that expression. What difference has it made? Yeah, now, when I say the word fierce, where does that land in your system? And is there anything else about fierce? Does fierce have a shape, a size, or a color? And fierce for you is like what? What shape or gesture does fierce have in your body? And if you feel comfortable doing this shape or expression, yes, keep repeating fierce. If there's a sound that comes out, feel free to express that too. Letting this movement get as large or as small as it wants to. Yeah. Giving fierce its full space to expand, to take up space. And if you remember the shape for abundance, maybe switch back and forth between fierce and abundance. And then inviting a movement between these two shapes in whatever way makes sense to you, as if it's a dance between the two, fierce and abundance. Mm. And as you're moving between fierce and abundance, is there another movement or gesture that comes to you? Yeah, and I encourage you to do that movement. If this movement had a name, what would it be? And in your own time, there's no rush, just letting this movement settle and come to a natural pause. And just noticing, what do you know now? And as you're ready, coming back to the screen. And so exploring the concepts this way, what is fierce, what is abundant, and really bringing that into the body and letting it move with your body and through your body. We generally find that there's new information, that there's another shape or movement that comes or that naturally arises between the two, that there's new information or ways of making sense of what this means for us as we're moving with these ideas. And so that's for me where the embodiment piece is really central, is in both integrating what we've thought of, what we believe about things, and allowing for the new to come into being as we're working with it in the present. And I'm curious what that was like for both of you, if you want to share anything.
I just had a blast with that. I'm gonna add my I like when you said shape in the beginning, I was like, oh, it's and where it was like a box from my neck to my pelvis, and then it expanded to my head. And like, I don't know all the words you said, but then I visualized like water in the box. And then it was like pink and green for the heart. And then it was like the movement of waving, like flow. And then it changed into like a circle that I would bring around, like rocking a baby. But it was like I got from flow to hold, like holding. And then when the next one, well, like the last one, well, the spears, like I had a spear coming in my heart for fierce and in my lower dantian, the lower belly. And as I was doing this, it would like, I was pulling the spears out, but then I was using them. And then I was like gold, everything turned to like solid gold through my body. And then it with a and then what I did for the last one was stomping on my heels, which makes a bounce that I do in something else called shake stacking the bones. And the word came integrate as I was like integrate, integrate. So I was like flow into the abundance, hold it, and then integrate it. It was like awesome. I loved it.
That's wonderful. Yeah, the beauty of, doing the shapes or, the movement expressions is that it allows for integration, and it's a way of not only integrating the shapes that you're moving, also the things that you're seeing in your mind's eye, and like you said, the gold coming in, the energetic field as well. Like, we can be doing so much on different levels as we move. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Dr. Amba. Terry, did you want to share anything?
Do you want to be on camera, Terry, or not?
I'd rather not be on camera, thank you.
Okay.
And um, I can share that when we were talking about abundance, it just felt like overwhelm. It's like abundance is a lot of something, right? And I don't know, I like to keep it a little more simple than that, I guess. And then when the fierce, I was like a lion, with claws and hissing and, you know, um, showing the teeth, fierceness, and then when you said kind of integrate the two of them, I noticed I was doing the overwhelm gesture, but I was also hissing like I had been with the fierceness. So the two kind of went together like fierce hissing overwhelm. Anyway, that's sort of what happened for me. And it was fun to play with the different speeds of the motions, and find something in the middle of the really slow or the really fast, something that felt comfortable there.
Yeah, and did the hissing help with the overwhelm when you were doing the two shapes?
Yes, it did. Thanks for asking that. Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes. Thank you for sharing that, Terry. Another thing that, doing these movement gestures allows is for noticing like what feels like too much, what feels too little. Like, are we hiding parts of ourselves that want to be expressed? Is there overwhelm in the field? And when moving the body, we can come to different resources that help to either allow us to expand and become, step into that fullness, or that can give us resources like the hissing that can help contain that overwhelm or what feels like too much. And that's one of the beautiful things I love about somatic work is that it works to both expand our capacity for what overwhelm feels like, and work with how to maintain that and stay within a comfortable level, while also increasing what we can do in each moment because we have those resources within our own bodies and within our own minds. Just we don't often access them because we don't think to just take a shape, in a moment, and see what's there or what information can be moved in the process. So thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, so I think we're at time, but again, I do integrative somatic work like this through different expressive arts modalities. So if I were doing this in a session, I would also ask you to draw what you saw and see what comes to you. So as you're kind of moving through and integrating the retreat this week, I encourage you to draw or find a physical representation of that. I like to work with objects as well, like maybe there's a spear that you find or that you can shape out of a piece of wood and see what it's like to pull that from your body, or find a little lion and see what it's like to just carry that around with you this week. That's another way I like to integrate things with that anchor or that touchstone to remind you of what you just, moved through you and see how it continues to shift and evolve as time goes on. And again, I'm Kelsay Elizabeth Myers, and my business is Dialogical Persona Healing Arts at dialogicalpersona.com. And I have a free course called Unlocking Your Own Light and Liberation that you can get on the website. And I will also drop the link in the chat so Dr. Amba can share it with you. But it takes you through this similar process in 5 lessons, or what I call the 5 keys to unlocking our own light and liberation. And each lesson has a video tutorial that I take you through the exercise, as well as a PDF if you prefer to read things. And it has exercises like, draw this or move this or do a short journal reflection, those kinds of things. So thank you so much, Dr. Amba.